nothing that I say.
Master, moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different.
No, no different. Only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
We've been playing this game since before the birth of this planet, and will continue to do so long after the death of yours. We don't cause the destruction of a world, Captain Carter. We simply manage it. Feed off it, if you like. But on every host planet, it always plays out exactly the same way. Populations rise, societies divide, wars spread. And all the while, the neglected planet slowly fades.
They'll come at you sideways. It's how they think. It's how they move. Sidle up and smile. Hit you where you're weak.
How are you doing this, Vincent? How have you done any of this? You want to know how I did it? This is how I did it, Anton. I never saved anything for the swim back.
Remember, the enemy has only images and illusions, behind which he hides his true motives. Destroy the image, and you will break the enemy.
Read everything, listen to everybody, believe nothing unless you can prove it with your own research. Bill Cooper. Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna try and not make this one too long, but who knows? It just happens to be like that most of the time. And crud, I forgot to get the restream chat showing, and there we go. All right, good. Now, I finished watching a while ago Eric Dubay, his Flat Earth Disinformation Agents, and wow. I didn't know how bad the division got. And the thing is, a lot of the people he mentions, ironically enough, are the people that I first kind of saw when I was investigating Flat Earth. And I think, oh, by the way, this is something I got off of the Grand Island Comic-Con. It's over here in Nebraska, and it's a small Comic-Con, but it was cool. I've got pictures that I need to start processing, but it's just mostly for my family. It's just pictures of my kids, and there's that bigger coffee mug than I had before, and fan of Captain America, if any of you didn't know. All right, so it's tough. I think I have to go with Bill Cooper, and obviously that quote that I had previously at the start of the show after my intro. Oh, and hope you guys like that pre-intro compilation. It's just a bunch of things. I probably should, if I get, of course, tagged for copyright or something, I'll probably edit it out. I'll probably do something with the, rather than the, I think Empire Strikes Back will probably set that copyright, and if I can't use that one, I'll probably just do something with like the empty your cup type of thing with the Zen philosophy. That's pretty much what I wanted anyways, but most people are just familiar with that movie. Oh, I should probably do empty your mind. But the one that I like, I think that I think is pertinent to this topic is the Serenity one. That they come at you from the side. They'll side up to you and smile, and they'll hit you where it hurts. And that's kind of what Eric Dubay has in mind. The weird thing is, like, I listen to like almost everything you're gonna go through when you start looking into Flat Earth. Eric Dubay's in it. A lot of people are in it. There's video snippets, compilations that people have, and oh man, I didn't know how bad it got. Like I've been in this Flat Earth thing 3 months now, and I thought the Globebusters and gosh, why am I forgetting names? And Nathan Oakley was bad, but man, it's worse than that. This thing is almost 2 hours. And I try not to focus on it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think being able to talk to one each other is a good idea. I think we'll see. I don't know. I'm grateful for all the people I have talked to. I'm not going to call them disinfo agents yet or controlled opposition. I don't know. And that's the tough thing about agents is you really don't know. I typically assume, again, I don't know, assume agents, is what I call them, or trolls or disinfo agents or controlled opposition, whatever. If you can't see their face, you don't know their names, and of course anyone can lie about their names, and especially if they don't make videos, but even if they do make videos and they're just really, really hard into just an opposition of something. Okay, opposition of, say, the official narrative. So if the official narrative proposed by government, proposed by corporate mainstream media, proposed by a corporation, whatever it is, if they have it, there's an official narrative and people are saying, hey, there's inconsistencies or anomalies to this official narrative, and that's what I'm looking into, because I'm not going to just sprout out something else and have my own unofficial narrative. I'm just going to point out the fallacies of the current official narrative. And then you have these agents, you don't know their names, you don't see their face, and they constantly make videos blasting the people who are even questioning the official narrative. That's easy to find who those agents are. Then there's something else where you see their face, you know their names, or at least the names that they have. And they make a bunch of videos, and sometimes those videos vary. And often enough, they're usually alongside you. You probably listen to them, you follow them, you agree with them, and then all of a sudden, things don't follow correctly. It's like, why are they saying this now? I don't get it. Everything else is like spot on. Then I could see controlled opposition. I could see sellouts. So when I do that video of Joe Rogan as a sellout, I really didn't put too much out there. Just basically what he said. You know, he's saying he would sell out. And with Jimmy Dore, I don't know if he sold out yet. He's a wannabe sellout, and all I did was just replay back a video of what he said. It's as simple as that. Now, when you have people start acting a little bit differently, saying things that seem like, hey, I didn't expect them to say certain things, or they're still pushing the narrative, but or they're still looking into the fallacies of the official narrative. So I'm good with that. But then there might be a fine line between when they're doing that, but they're also pushing a different narrative, which isn't just focusing on pointing out the fallacies of the official narrative. So I'm not there yet. I'd love to talk with Eric DeBay. I don't think he will. I'm relatively new. I don't think he's trusting of people. Probably doesn't want the same issues that he went through with the other people. So I just have to just keep going like I am doing. So I'd love to talk with Eric DeBay. I'd love to talk with a lot of people in the Flat Earth distribution network, I would say, because I wouldn't say it's a community, because it's very disjointed community. It's attacked on all angles. Like, there are certain people that they make some great videos, and I'm glad that they make them. I think it was Jaronism that made a video. I wish I could find it. I couldn't find it. And I think he was responding to Red's rhetoric. I forgot who it was, but they made a video specifically. And Red's rhetoric and a bunch of Globers, they're saying, hey, this debunked Flat Earth. It proves Globe Earth. So they found pictures of where, like you can see, it's just the horizon is flat. And what they did is post-processing, they would compress the image, and that straight line would appear curved. So journalism, and I'm pretty sure it's about, I'm not positive. Someone just made a reply video saying, okay, it's because of the optical effect cameras. And he just presented a pretty flat table, did the same thing, and of course it was curved. But not only did he do that, he just made a straight line, just whatever image editor, and just made a straight line, horizontal straight line. Then he saved it, then put it on his TV, whatever size his TV is, 42 inches, 55 inches. I don't remember what it was, but he just took a picture of that straight horizontal line on TV. Then post-processing, he compressed it, and that straight line that was on TV curved. So, and again, what you're seeing is what you see. And then if you're going to post-process it, just like Photoshop or whatever it is, that's not what you naturally see. I mean, even the pictures that we have, you don't naturally see. But of course, you're not going to post-edit, post-process anything that you see in your head of what you're seeing. It's not like, oh, I see this, let me post-process it and compress it in your mind. It doesn't happen that way. So it's just kind of not really good at any rate. Now that's kind of it. That's my first 14.5 minutes of just covering this topic of, the division is deeper than I thought it was. It is pretty bad. Because I was watching the first hour, and I was like, okay, I was gonna do a video and topic about this. And then while I was preparing, making the video compilations and all this other stuff, prepping for this episode, and I finished the second half. But he's right. I like the last part he said, and I don't know how far I'll get to it. I should have just figured out how long I wanted to play back. Let's see. Oh, maybe not that music part, but no, not there. I can't find it. Maybe I'll play it back some other day. Anyways, yeah. I am a small channel. Right? I've gotten kind of big. Like, I finally broke the 1,000 subscribers mark over a month and a half ago. And 79 in 28 days, that's kind of cool. But if you can see, I've been making videos, and let's see. Actually, why don't I just go to my, oh yeah, it won't show the amount of videos, and you know, 691 videos, and that doesn't count of all the videos that were taken down for whatever reason. So I would say it's probably around 750 to 800 videos. You know, there's also ones where I just would go live on my alternate channel, Tequila Mockingbird, and not re-upload it to my main channel, and vice versa. So maybe it's 800. I don't really keep counting, and I kind of don't really care about the older videos. Those were mostly, in the beginning, it was about politics and things like that, but then it dived down into different rabbit holes, and you could see the progression of all the rabbit holes and conspiracy theories, my thoughts on them. Finally landing on flat Earth and a bunch of other things, and now I find flat Earth, yeah, it is pretty important. And let's see. I think what is important is to know how to convey I wouldn't say, the ability to point out the fallacies of the official narrative of the globe Earth model. I think that's the way to point to it. I think saying convincing people of flat Earth, I don't think that's going to happen. You're not going to convince people of flat Earth. People have to convince themselves of flat Earth, and flat Earth isn't. It's not quite noble proven, but it's what we experience day to day in our real lives. Earth presents itself naturally as not moving and flat. End of story. And I think I want to do another compilation where the mainstream corporate media and just the people out there that make millions of dollars and all this other stuff, they're highly famous, highly visible. They tell you what you're seeing isn't what you're actually seeing. It's a mirage, all that stuff. They tell you straight up that your reality is not your reality, type of thing. They do. I mean, I think if you start thinking about it, yeah, your reality may not be your reality in certain points of view, but that gets really philosophical and all that. So I'm not going to point that out as scientifically proven and all this other stuff like they claim it is, but that's what they claim. So DITRH, deep inside the rabbit hole. Look, I'm subscribed to pretty much everyone in the flat Earth community or disjointed community. I don't know what to call it anymore. I guess I'll still call it the what did I call it before, just earlier? It's like flat Earth distribution network. That's it. Everyone's distributing content to promote, not necessarily flat Earth, I would say to promote the fallacies with the globe Earth model. I think I need to find a way to say that correctly, and I'm gonna work on it. So when I'm watching DRTRH, sorry, I don't know people's names yet 100%, and like trying to remember Globebuster's name, but I can't remember his name, right? And DITRH, I can't quite remember his name, even though I watched it last night. It's hard because, like for me, just call me Ebon Kim, like D Marble, Mark Sargent, Eric DeBay. But when it's like Globebusters, or Nathan Oakley is Nathan Oakley, Marty Lee's, like DITRH, or Zen Garcia. So many people with their names, but then it's like Globebusters. Oh crap, what was Globebuster's name again? Or DITRH. Ah, damn it. What was DITRH's name? So I just referred to them as their channel name if I can't remember their real name. And so he's talking with 3 people, Eric, Everett, and Armand, and presenting the flat earth as opposed to pointing out the fallacies of the globe earth model. And a lot of it is, well, what you believe in is a religion, or it's what you're just believing in something. Yeah, your religion, the religion of science. I just hear that repeat too much. I don't think it's necessary. I think it might be necessary for them to point that out, but then one of the things that I found slightly annoyed, not necessarily a bad thing, is when you're in this type of, I guess, conversation or debate with multiple people, it's more of a you can't present anything. And sometimes presenting a picture or presenting a video can be very helpful, but then the thing is, and DITRH points out, there's hundreds of hours you pretty much have to go through to just make your own decision on flat earth. And I think it's necessary to get a good stance on it, but I don't think it's necessary to become a person who no longer believes in the globe earth model. It can be done quickly and succinctly enough for people to question the official narrative. And that's I think the biggest thing that people can do in any type of journalistic approach is present the official narrative and then find the points where the official narrative doesn't add up, and then make people question to look into it. But then when you're telling people, oh, look into it, you probably won't be convinced until you watch 100 hours of videos of things and which ones you point out. And I think that's a bad approach. And so that's why my approach is, I'm trying to figure out that approach. And that's why I'm documenting everything. And I think it I gotta rename this, not gravity.doc, but I created a timeline. I'll go over this timeline a little bit later because, I mean, I've had all these notes before. But it's basically, if the people who believe in the globe earth model, they're not going to know all this. They'd have to look into it themselves to know all this. They're just pretty much taking the word of people who are presumably smarter or higher up in intelligence, or put out there as the leading thinker or scientist or whatever it is, and that's the thing that I also want to point out, is like, how do I know your globe earth model history, the science, and the math better than you? So if I know all of this and I point out the inconsistencies, yet you still believe in that model of which you didn't do enough research about and don't know anything about, why are you still doubling down and believing in it? And so that's my approach. I don't want to start asserting anything else. Pretty much, I do like to look into things and make my judgment call whether it's worth investigating and all of that stuff. And I jump around quite a bit, but this is a big one, I think. And well, the way I like to think of it is everyone within the going against, or finding everyone involved in the pointing out of fallacies within the official narrative of the globe Earth model, the distribution network of these content creators, everyone has a good, a certain way of representing those fallacies. I like Nathan Oakley because he sticks to and keeps at it with the science part. He's a stickler for that. Heck, if those who believe in the globe Earth model are basing it off of science, let's look at the science. And that's all it is. What is science? Let's look at the scientific method, the experiments using the scientific method that was applied to the globe Earth model in all the instances that there have been, and stick that way. And then there's Marty Leeds. He's really great with mathematics. I'm okay at it. It's not like something I really was into very big. It's just kind of, I'm okay at it. I'm good at it. I don't really dwell in like calculus and all this other stuff, but if I have to, I'll look into it and I'll start to understand it. And but he's someone I really want to talk to about it, because that's another thing. When you look into science, when I was in that scientism belief, I disregarded what actual science was. Here's the assumption that I have. The same assumption that I had when I was a globe earther, or believed the scientism, is that I thought science was, you would do, especially physics, you would run an experiment and then you would provide the mathematics to find the proof, and it would prove, it'd be like finding the proof of that experiment. I don't know why I thought that. It was always presented that way within movies and shows, and I guess science shows and things like that. So that was just what I assumed. But now I just, again, you have to empty your cup, unlearn what you have learned, and start over. And that's why I always say you got to do your research. You're researching the stuff that is out there that wasn't provided for you during your growing up process and your learning process, because the education system is controlled, the history is controlled, the science, the ones who provide the research is controlled. All of that, everything is controlled, and you realize how much you don't have control over any of the information that you can get into. It takes a lot of people and a lot of time to just look into it and figure things out. So Marty Leeds, good on that aspect. Everyone has something to contribute. I am focused right now on the official narrative, the historical side that's given, because we can't come up with our own history. We have to use their history. I'm looking at the scientific side, and it's not my science. It's not a different science. It's the science that was provided by them. The people who are presenting the official narrative, looking into the way that they utilize science within how it's all figured out. And I'm also looking at the mathematical formulas, okay, that they provide, where they're saying Earth is a globe, here's the math. So I'm looking at the math. And so does the history line up with the science? Does that line up with the math? Does any of that line up with the Earth as a globe? And so that's what this timeline is. And now let's go over this timeline. Nathan Fowler. Stuff that was already searched. Relook at it all. Where the names of the days of the week came from. Loads of stuff. Yeah, you can look into that. That is useful information. But again, that's information. It's going to take you days and multiple sources to look into. And I don't want to go down that line to get people to just start thinking that the official narrative has some issues and point them out exactly what those issues are. Okay. Now, when you go into the timeline of Earth is a globe declarations, people can look into it. You can just do a Google search. I like using Google search because that's where the official narrative, the controlled narrative, is going to be provided to everyone. If you use DuckDuckGo, it's going to be different. People aren't going to get the same results as they use Google, and most people use Google. So again, I'm approaching this from the perspective of the globe earther, and when they start looking into Earth is a globe, and this is why. So to start off, the furthest you'll go back into that the Earth is a globe pretty much starts with Pythagoras around 500 BC. Earth is a globe because of curved shadows cast onto the moon from Earth. You know how you see the crescent moon day to day, or 2/3 of the moon being full, all that stuff. Well, those curved shadows, because of those curved shadows that are cast onto the moon, Earth is a globe. But again, I can point out with that alone, that does not prove that Earth is a globe. And I provide the science to it. There is no math. I just provide the science. Actually, it's not even the science. I'm just saying science as a blanket term. It's actually an observation that there's curved shadows. Okay, curved shadows, globe. That's the observation. That's the declaration. Now, I'm going to show you the observation, and I'm going to present the could it be this as well. So I point out the illogical conclusion of an observation that was made by Pythagoras. And where is, I think it's flat Earth. I have just so many folders. It's kind of annoying. I need to fix some stuff up. Okay, here we go. I showed this yesterday. I've got a picture of the moon. Oh, okay. This is a picture of the moon. Now, I have a single source of light, just light bulb with 1500 lumens. And I'm taking a picture of the shadow that's cast on the picture of this moon. Now, is that shadow, the shadow itself is a 2D representation. No matter what, we live in a 3-dimensional world. The shadows that you see are always going to be 2-dimensional. There's not going to be any volume to it. So this shadow that's cast, it's curved. So is the thing that casts that shadow a globe? Is it a round ball? Pretty much. People will say yes. And then I show them, this is a round ball that's casting that curve. Now here's another curved shadow. Is that still a round ball? I'm like, oh yeah, it's a round ball. I'll show them, hey, no, it's a flat disc. It's causing that curved shadow. You don't believe me? Do the same thing. You can do the same experiment. It's easy. You don't need a camera. The only reason I'm using a camera is to show people, and it's pretty tough to do a one-person observation representation. And I didn't do it perfect. I imagined it a certain way to make this observation. Yet you can do it at home. It's pretty easy. You just grab a ball and a flat disc, a round ball and a flat disc. I don't have the round ball with me. And you have one light source, which is acting like the sun. And you just cast the shadow onto the picture of the moon. What do you see? You see curved shadow. Is that proof that that curved shadow is cast by a round ball? No, because it could also be cast by a flat disc. It's not proof or evidence. It's just an assumption. Because of curved shadow cast on an object, therefore the object that's casting that curved shadow has to be a round ball. No, it can be a flat disc. And I showed it to you exactly. So there's that. So Pythagoras, no, that observation does not prove that the Earth is a globe. Yeah, it starts there. Now, you'll also see from the official narrative sources, Anaxagoras, I don't even know I'm saying that right, from 500 BC to 430 BC, declares that the Earth is a globe because of curved shadows cast onto the moon from Earth from solar and lunar eclipses. So rather than the crescent moon and all this other stuff, it's based on the solar and lunar eclipses. But it's the same problem that assumption has, that a shadow cast onto an object, because it's curved, is assumed that that object that's casting that shadow is a round ball. No, because we can cast that exact same curved shadow using a flat disk, a circular flat disk. Okay. Now, you continue on. Aristotle, around 300 BC. Earth is a globe because observations he made about which constellations you could see in the sky as you traveled further and further away from the equator. Now, I haven't come up with a better reason for this. I need to confer with others around the flat Earth distribution, or the pointing out the fallacies of the globe Earth model distribution network. Is that why are we deciding what the Earth is, which is beneath our feet, under us, by looking at the constellations above us? Okay. The idea is the same twofold thing. It's an observation. It's not an experiment. We can't wiggle the independent variables out in the stars, the sun, or the Earth. It's just too big. No one could do it. Now, or no human could do it. Now, here's the thing. It could present that the constellations in the sky are moving in a circular direction around a flat and stationary Earth, or that the Earth as a globe is spinning between all the constellations that surround and also move along with the Earth. So those are just pretty much the two different ones. It doesn't prove either way. I mean, still you're looking up to prove what's down. It doesn't make sense. Okay, and it's again an observation, not a scientific experiment. So you can't use, these three. You can't really use the scientific method. There is no scientific method. You can't use math. There are no formulas provided. And it's just history and logic. Maybe I have to put in logic. So it's just history, logic, science that's proposed, and mathematical formulas that are provided. So I'm just looking into this as a flat earther would look into it. I mean, not a flat earther, a glober looking into flat Earth. Start from there. It's easy if you've done your research and you found out that, well, NASA are liars. But most people are going to be like, no, I still believe in NASA. Just like most people are going to be like, oh, I still believe in government. Oh, I still believe all this other stuff. Again, the keyword believe. And then they'll say, oh, people who believe in flat Earth are all religious. It's like, no, I'm not religious. I don't believe in flat Earth. I just definitely don't believe in the globe Earth. And flat Earth, it's just again, that's just the way that the Earth naturally presents itself to us. That it's flat and we're not moving. We're spinning. The Earth isn't beneath us. We don't feel it. We don't ever think that that's what's going on. Until someone tells us to think that, hey, it is going on. It's like, what, really? Who's saying that? Oh, this person. You went to Harvard, you went to MIT, all this other stuff. It's like, oh, okay. But then I feel like, well, they point out the smartest people already researched it. We don't need to. And if you think you're going to debunk the smartest people on Earth at the current time and previous times, well, they think you have some Dunning-Kruger effect on you. It's like, me? No. I am assuming I am the dumbest person in the world. Because if I can figure this out, anyone else can. The only difference is I'm not a liar. That's the only difference. Everyone else can figure this out. It's there. It's easily presentable. If I'm the dumbest person, you should convince me. You should know this very easily, and you should be able to provide it in whichever context that you can, whether it's through historical logic, with science and the scientific method, or with mathematical formulas that are proven. If you can't present any of those three to me, it appears someone is lying. I need to probably tone down the idiot, dumb, whatever, ignorant. I think it's more just you're lying to yourself, really. And others have lied to you, and you're keeping up with the lie, and that's all there needs to be. I'm the dumbest person. It should be easy to figure out. And why the dumbest person knows more than you has to make you think, right? It's the same thing when people call me a noob when I'm beating them in some video game or whatnot. Chess, video game, whatever. It's like, dude, you're losing to me and you're calling me a noob. What does that make you? They don't realize how they're putting themselves down. They're not really putting me down. I'm the one who's winning and won. They're putting themselves down because they lost and they're sore losers, and so they call you something degrading, I guess. Okay, so let's continue on. Eratosthenes, 200 BC. So Earth is a globe because Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference without leaving Egypt. This is pretty much word for word of what's on the Wikipedia page about Eratosthenes. Here's the fun part. Okay, so this is math. It should involve science and the scientific method. Okay. But what's funny is he found out all this. He calculated the Earth's circumference without ever leaving Egypt. Okay? Imagine never living wherever you're living, whatever country. Like, oh, I can calculate the Earth's circumference without leaving here easily. I'll just repeat what Eratosthenes said. So how are you going to repeat what he did if he never left Egypt? So, of course, he knew at local noon on the summer solstice in Syene, which is modern Aswan, Egypt, the sun was directly overhead. And tells you Syene is at latitude 24 degrees 5, is that feet? North, near to the Tropic of Cancer, which is 22 degrees 42 feet north in 100 BC. And a local noon, you know, I wonder, because is there a time zone difference? Did they apply the time zone difference over there? He knew this because of the shadow of someone looking down a deep well at the time in Syene blocked the reflection of the sun on the water. He then measured the sun's angle of elevation at noon in Alexandria by using a vertical rod known as a gnomon and measuring the length of its shadow on the ground. Using the length of the rod and the length of the shadow as the legs of a triangle, he calculated the angle of the sun's rays. This turned out to be about 7 degrees or 1/50th the circumference of a circle. And here we go. Circumference of a circle. Why is he calculating it with the circumference of a circle? How does he know that the Earth is a globe in the first place to know that there's a circumference for it? Circumference, again, is not a flat circle, a flat disc. Circumference is stuff that you need for a round object. So why is he dictating it's the circumference of a circle? Taking the Earth as spherical, and we don't know why he's taking the Earth as spherical. It's just an assumption, a declaration. So they even state that, taking the Earth as spherical and knowing both the distance and direction of Syene, he concluded that the Earth's circumference was 50 times that distance. They say right there. And at that point, Eratosthenes, 200 BC. There's been 4 people before him. Oh, and I skipped Aristarchus. Let's go back to Aristarchus. We know that right now, if we ran this, it's not true. It's not what casts a curved shadow. Isn't knowingly a round ball. It could be a flat disc. Same thing with an Anaxagoras. In Aristotle, I just mentioned, you're looking up in the constellations so you know what the Earth is, what shape of the Earth is. How does that work exactly? Is there an experiment that's ran for that? Is there any mathematical formula? None of that. You just have to think in a logical process, and I'm telling you, okay, think about it logically. Just because you see something there just means that it proves the shape of something here. Aristarchus. So I skipped over him. I'm sorry. He was born 310 BC, died in 230 BC. I didn't look exactly when he postulated that the Earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun. And then I put in a note here. Interestingly, he measures the diameter, not the radius, the diameter of the moon, Earth, and sun based on geometric construction of lunar eclipses, and assuming that the sun is 18 to 20 times further away from the Earth than the moon is. So he has his measure of the diameter. So he's just saying, okay, hey, this is probably what the distance is based out of geometry, and then, well, we're just finding out the diameter of the circle, and not the circumference of a circle, the diameter of a circle, not the radius of a round ball, diameter of just a round shape. Okay. And then Eratosthenes, which I went before Aristarchus. I'm sorry. So now we're going to jump ahead to 1687 AD. There's a lot of other stuff that may have gone on and all that stuff, but they won't include that as proof. Okay, there's just a lot of stuff going on between that time and until Isaac Newton came along. And Newton's law of universal gravitation states that every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force. Again, this is exactly what's stated in the official narratives of the controlled sources that you're going to investigate, whether it's through Google, whether it's through NASA, whatever. I'm going to say exactly this. Newton's law of universal gravitation states that every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. Now, this is a mathematical formula that I'm talking about. There is no scientific experiment associated with this, because then it would make Henry Cavendish insubstantial. And we're going to jump to Henry Cavendish. I'm going to skip Blaise Pascal, Florent Perrier, and Otto von Guericke. Jumping to Henry Cavendish, because Henry Cavendish, his Cavendish experiment was the first experiment to measure the force of gravity between masses in the laboratory and the first to yield accurate values for the gravitational constant. And again, this is all taken from Wikipedia, NASA, whatever controlled official narrative source that's out there for that a globe earther is going to use. Because of the unit conventions then in use, the gravitational constant does not appear explicitly in Cavendish's work. Instead, the result was originally expressed as the specific gravity of the Earth, or equivalently the mass of the Earth. His experiment gave the first accurate values for these geophysical constants. Now, what I want you to note is the difference. When he's the one who first measured the force of gravity, and it's 1798. That is 111 years after Isaac Newton had a formula for a law of universal gravitational constant. A law, folks. I don't know if the law came during Isaac Newton's time or it became a law after Henry Cavendish experimented experimented and measured it. And for this, it's about force. And we'll go more into that later. Okay, so Isaac Newton, this is his formula. F equals G times the mass of one object times the mass of the second object divided by the distance between the centers of each object. So actually, it's easily explained here. I don't know why I just did my way looking at the formula, but where F is the force of attraction between the two bodies, G is the universal gravitational constant, M sub 1 is the mass of the first object, M sub 2 is the mass of the second object, and R is the distance between the centers of each object. So that's that. So Henry Cavendish, that capital G, which is the universal gravitational constant, it was measured out to be this. And the uncertainty is in parentheses. Now, it says in the late 1600s, I didn't get any exact dates, but it says Blaise, and this is pertinent because with gravity, well, where did the vacuum of space come from? Well, they demonstrated that the density of the Earth's atmosphere decreases with increasing altitude and concluded that there must be a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon. So space being a vacuum, that was established in the late 1600s by 3 different people. So there is no scientific experiment. Maybe it was just that the density of the Earth's atmosphere decreases with increasing altitude. That could be a scientific experiment that was conducted, and that's valid because we can demonstrate that now. But the conclusion is that because it keeps, I guess they don't know exactly. I don't know how they would know that there would eventually just be a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon. But the conclusion that's not testable, especially in the late 1600s, is that there must be a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon. There must. And so this is where the vacuum of space came from, folks. Hey, Skipper. So, how did these people know in the late 1600s that there's a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon? How did they know? How could they test it? How could they experiment it? They can't get out there. They just had to assume that. I mean, just think about it. 1600s. How do they know space is vacuum? Like I don't need to answer that. I just want to. That's why when I talk to a Glober, I just ask them. So, what do you think? Like, how do they know? How can they prove it? And also, how does the mainstream accepted official scientific community reason that it was proved then that there was a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon? How did they know? What is their explanation? What is the scientific experiment that proves that back in the 1600s? And then it all gets proven by NASA. Again, are you going to trust NASA? A lot of people don't trust NASA. Even people who aren't flat earthers don't trust NASA. But majority of people who are flat earthers don't trust NASA. Not one bit. Okay, so there's the space is vacuum. Now, we're going to jump ahead to Albert Einstein in 1915 AD. This is just kind of the last thing before like these theories and laws and all this other stuff is before it gets to NASA, and now our reliance is on NASA and government. So Albert Einstein, 1915 AD, Einstein's theory describes gravity not a force, but as a consequence of the curvature of space-time caused by the uneven distribution of mass. And that's his formula, mathematical formula. Where's his experiment? Where's his scientific experiment that should be testable by others? And is it testable by others? Are we able to measure anything that's given? Just any other person? Or do you need NASA to do it, or NOAA, anyone with the specific equipment that's capable of doing it, but no one else can do it because these equipments are very, very expensive. They just need correct calibration. That just you need to have 20 degrees and PhDs in order to calibrate correctly. Not alone just to build the apparatus and all this other stuff. So there's always a gatekeeper, and that gatekeeper is usually government and government entities. NASA is one of them, NOAA, all this other stuff. One of the things that I want to look into, but I haven't found yet, is how did we know and exactly when and who came up with the idea that the Earth has a core or a liquid core or solid core with a liquid cover, etc., and a mantle and a crust. So that's something that I'm going to add into a timeline. Oh, I should probably put a note for myself. Who came up with and who ran the science or math to know that the Earth has a liquid. No, it has a core, a mantle, and a crust. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to come up with. But again, this is just kind of going through the timeline. But what you would have to look into is, okay, this is the history. Okay, this is the history that's given. Now let's run the same observations. Can we conclude that based on those observations that the Earth is a globe? No, we can't. It could be a flat disk, because the same observations and observations and presentations we can show is that, yeah, it could be a flat disk, it could be a round ball. And I could run these tests. I can do these visuals, take photographs, and I'll say, okay, you're a globe earther, you know. This is how they proved Earth is a globe. Now, this curved shadow. This curved shadow is the object that casts that curved shadow. Is that a round ball or flat disk? It's 50-50. You're not saying one. Most likely, you're going to say, oh, it's a round ball. And then I'm going to show you, oh, no. It's a flat disk. This is what caused it. And you're like, I don't believe it. And then I'll just pan out. And it's like, or just do it here. It's like, don't even think about the shadow. Just think about the curve that this is presented over the moon. That's a curve, right? That outline. Outline right here. It's hard to do. Right. That outline is curved. Right? Is this a ball? Is this a round ball? No, it's not. Pretty easy. It's the same thing with the shadow, and the shadow, of course, is always going to be two-dimensional representation. So, we know that's false. It's not proof. An observation doesn't prove that the curved shadows are a globe. Looking at the sky and look at the constellations can prove what the shape of the Earth is. No. Logically, that doesn't make sense. There's no scientific experiment ran. There's not even a mathematical formula. So the best that you can argue that with is just a little, just logic, really. But can logic prove anything? It can just kind of deduct, right? Aristarchus, he says the Earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun. Here's the interesting part. Again, he measures the diameter, not the radius, and Earth as a flat disk could still rotate on an axis. And it could still revolve around the sun. So that doesn't prove globe Earth. If you did take that as 100% proof of, say, rotation, Earth rotation, and the heliocentric model. And again, where's the Where's the experiment, scientific experiment? There isn't one. You could probably use the mathematical formula, but you know, he's assuming that the sun is 18 to 20 times further away from the earth, so he's using assumptions in the mathematical formula, how in a geometric construction based off of lunar eclipses. How does that work? Is mathematical formulas based off of assumptions? If that's the case, holy moly, whatever. It's just okay, but that's just this is to get people to think about the official narrative, the official representation of the globe Earth model. And then Eratosthenes, you know, he calculated the Earth's circumference without leaving Egypt. It states there. That's an incredulous. That right there. That is an incredulous statement. That one could find the circumference of an entire planet by just being in one location without ever leaving it. He knew this, and he just looked into the shadow of someone looking down a deep well at the time, which blocked the reflection of the sun on the water. That one is. They're gonna have to make a cartoon of that or something. Then he measured it using a sundial and the length of its shadow, but he had to take the Earth as spherical, and being 1/50th the circumference of a circle, that he concluded that the Earth's circumference was 50 times that distance. Again, the mathematical equation, which isn't accurate. Like, they'll tell you how off he was. He's like, oh, that was close, but he was off by this much. It's like, so you got a mathematical formula, you call that a proof that the Earth is a globe, and you've got that circumference, yet that formula was wrong. The end result was wrong, yet we're going to conclude that as mathematical proof. How does that work again? And again, Larry, you're questioning things that I don't know, and I don't presume to know, yet the science, the official narratives, they presume to know. You could look at their explanation. I'm not going to tell you whether it's correct or not. I'm just going to tell you, okay, look into the history of when that was found out, the official history, when they found that out. And I'm going to say, what was the scientific experiment that they did? Is that repeatable? Is that testable? Can you do it? And is there a mathematical formula that they provide, if any? And where do they get that? And just trace that mathematical formula back into history. You could easily do it like I have, you know, just like the force of gravity with Isaac Newton, the Henry Cavendish, and how he got that, running his own observations, experiment, whatever you want to call it. And then how that was pretty much kind of, it doesn't matter, because Einstein says gravity is not a force. And some of the notes that I have here, so I'm going to kind of skip back. So the constants of proportionality, which is a mathematical proof, there is proportionality and it is a constant, but they apply that to the gravitational constant to find out the local gravitational force. And the thing is, so Henry Cavendish says, oh, this is accurate, I tested, I measured it, that's what it is. It's a gravitational constant, folks. That's what they're calling it. It's calling constant. It doesn't change at all. But in order to get the local gravitational force, and if they know that, and I think that's what was also measured, but basically they would have to know what the radius of the Earth is. And again, the radius of the Earth is presumably calculated by Eratosthenes in 200 BC without ever leaving Egypt. And again, he proposed that taking Earth as a sphere, that's how he got the radius of the Earth. And to get the radius of the Earth, if you have the radius of the Earth, presumably, and you know the gravitational constant, which is provided by Henry Cavendish, you can find out the mass of the Earth. So the mass of the Earth was the last thing that was found. Okay, so we know the mass of the Earth as this, 5.9 sextillion tons. There's no scale to weigh it. It's all done by a mathematical formula. The radius of the Earth is 3,958.8 miles. Therefore, the force of gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. Because of the unit gravity, the gravitational constant that doesn't change as a constant was found by Henry Cavendish, and it is this, even though the uncertainty in parentheses. So why is there uncertainty in a gravitational constant? If it's constant, it wouldn't change, but there's uncertainty to it. It can be changed because there's an uncertainty of that amount. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me, but of course, I'm the stupidest, dumbest person in the world. I just don't lie. Now, you're obviously smarter, so explain that. And just don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. Of course, if you're going to be an agent, troll, a noble, whatever, sell out, I don't know, controlled opposition, you're not going to be honest. You may be smarter, but you're not going to be honest. Now, and then all this other stuff, so where I'm getting the data. So that's it. That's just the quickest, easiest way to have you look into the official narrative. And again, Larry, you're assuming about me. Does it matter what I assume? It doesn't matter what you assume about me in the first place. All I'm doing is looking into the official narrative that's presented to us. That Earth is a globe. That's the declaration. Earth is a globe. And I'm giving you what they're presenting. Does that sound logical? Do they provide the scientific experiments that could be testable? They provide the formulas, and those formulas are 100% correct because of their assumptions. How does that work? So that's pretty much it. And I don't really care about any of the other stuff, really, because why and all this other stuff, it is, again, declaration. It's like you're going to have me look into a whole bunch of things that really doesn't matter about what the shape of the Earth is. You're going to cast me down rabbit holes after rabbit holes, and all the rabbit holes that are provided, well, it's fun to look into. It goes deep because there's just too much to look into. And really, does it boil down to something very simple and observable? Is the Earth flat or is it a globe? Can it be proven as a globe? Because it's declared that Earth is a globe. So we're looking at the declaration. Is the Earth a globe? All right, let's look. So I did. I looked at the mainstream sources. I looked at Google. I looked at the Wikipedias. I looked at NASA. I looked at NOAA. I looked at all the controlled sources where the official narrative stems from. I'm not looking at YouTube videos. I'm not looking at conspiracy theorist websites. I'm not looking at alt media. If anything, I'm looking at mainstream corporate media, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all of them. They're Vox and whatever you want to call it. I'm just looking at those because I'm going to look at it from the point of view of a globe earther, because that's the only thing you can do, because you have to take anyone else's word for it as just their word for it. And therefore, what I like about the entire thing about conspiracy theorists, just like Bill Cooper, it's like, look at all the information in here. I'll just go ahead and play it back. It's such a good quote. Read everything, listen to everybody, believe nothing unless you can prove it with your own research. Bill Cooper. And here, Larry. Your name is Larry. No last name. You know, you're on YouTube. You're watching me live on the YouTube. In the description box, there's a link to Zoom. You can come in and talk with me. Show your face. Tell me your name. Tell me your background. And let's talk. Prove to me that the official narrative that Earth is a globe, it is a globe. I mean, bring me back from being a believer in the globe, where I became a flat earther because the Earth is a globe model. Didn't add up. So bring me back from flat Earth. I think that's where, you know, globe earthers, they keep losing a lot of people into this whole flat Earth movement, and they're not being brought back into the globe Earth model. So bring me back to globe Earth model. I mean, first, if I see your face, hear your voice, I know your full name, I know where you live. It's like me, Ebon Kim. You see me right now. This is me. I live in Columbus, Nebraska. I became a flat earther about 3 months ago. The reason why? Well, I looked into it, and guess what? A video by PBS called Genius by Stephen Hawking, and 3 birds within that video pretty much made me a flat earther. Stephen Hawking. You probably agree with him as being very intelligent, especially a well-known scientist within the mainstream model, right? So there you go. Come on, Larry. Come on in. You have all the opportunity. You can come in, convince me. But of course, we're not going to know your full name. We're not going to know what you look like. We're not going to know where you're from. And if you didn't, how do we know? You can easily look me up. I've been around for ages. I have no background in the sciences. Do they not teach science in grade school? Or is what they're teaching in grade school not science? I mean, come on in. Let's talk. If I have no background in the sciences, did I not go to school? Are they not teaching science in school? Is biology, is chemistry, is physics, are they not sciences? Because I had to take them in school, high school. Not only that, I took the AP version of those classes. I was pretty much a straight A student. Okay. Again, Larry. Evidence, folks. Pretty easy. I could repeat this all day, and they'll repeat the same thing. And it's very easy to point out. And that's why the globe model is losing. The agents are too afraid to show themselves. And if they do show themselves and they create multiple videos and they get very big, for me, I've been doing this for at least 2 years, but I've been making videos, showing pictures on social media for much longer. And you can see that progression. And of those 2 years, it took me this much to get 1167. What is it? 1122 subscribers. And I'll bet you, like, if I refresh now, it's probably up because people are going, "Hey, I'm an agent and I need to monitor this Ebon Kim guy. I need to subscribe." Well, let's see, 1122. Let's load YouTube. Come on, folks. Come on, YouTube. Oops, something went wrong. Wow. Wow, are you kidding me? Alright, let's do this. Oh, there we go. Oh, 1122. I was wrong. No one really subscribed. Just random people. And let's see. How many people are actually watching this show? 6 people? I mean, what is it about me that keeps you watching? I mean, even people who are flat earthers aren't watching me. A lot of them. So what's attracting agents to my channel where I'm talking about flat earth and they just stick around? There's plenty of people that you could watch that's a lot more entertaining. 6 people watching, especially on YouTube. One of them is probably me. So there's 5 people watching. Larry, you're one of them. Trump, Army of Kentucky. That's 2. Nathan Oakley was there. 3. Skipper, 4. So I don't know who the 5th is. But Larry. Hi, Larry. How's being an agent for you? Do they pay you a lot? I would hope that you get paid, because I'd hate to think you being as what they call a useful idiot, where you do things for free for your controllers and your masters. I mean, it sucks to be the one who has to monitor and become the troll for a person who has 5 people watching live, where their subscriber amount is 1,123. I mean, it would suck. It's like, the only positive is that I guess I've got a stash. It makes me look plenty sexy. I don't know if you're into that though, Larry. I'm not into it, but you know, it doesn't matter to me. But so it's like, damn, how long have you been around? I mean, you're definitely a newcomer. I haven't really seen you before. Let's see, came in at around, you made your first comment at least at 12:54 a.m. and right now it is 1:16 a.m. So you've been around for 6 and 22 minutes. You're still here. You're still typing like I care about anything that you have to type in. Like, I invited you in. You could click on the description box and you can watch me. You could talk to me live in person. You're still typing. See, here we go. Right here. See, this is what's called a description box. You know what that is, right? See this right here? https zoom.us. You can get in. Show your face, show your name, tell me about where you live. Convince me to come back into flat earth. Alright, convince me to go back to the low Earth model. Make me a believer. Who the hell is Andrew Yang? Trump Army of Kentucky. Again, no name, no face. I'll bet if I went to your YouTube channel, you have subscribers, but you have no videos. Oh, actually, you have subscribers. 41. You have some videos. Actually, you got some videos. It's very sporadic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You do have a face if that is you. That's kind of interesting, but these are some odd videos. Let's see, Larry. If it was on YouTube, go to channels. Look at Larry. Hi, Larry. 943 subscribers. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 videos. From 4 years to 4 months. Only 15 videos. And you've got 943 subscribers? Man, I would love that. And then, let's see what the content of your videos are. Oh, it's about going against the flat earth. Pretty much all of them. Except for maybe the first 2. It has to do with, I mean, I guess you're very, very into it, right? I didn't say you're a terrorist. I just said you're an agent. And if you are a terrorist, I don't care. You're not gonna terrorize me. Let's see, Kentucky. It's not that too far from Nebraska. You know, you can find me. If you want to be a terrorist and terrorize me, go for it. You know, life of fear. Some person hiding behind the internet, just randomly jumping onto a video of where no one's watching. Like, I'm pretty much saying the entire government, not just the United States government, but all the governments around the world have been lying for centuries. And I'm scared of you? Come on. You know what? I bet you're probably scared of me. It's like, why are you scared of me? What is it about me that scares you? Is it this stash? But yeah, it's like I said. Heck, before I even started talking about you, I was talking about you. I know exactly who and what you are. it's just so awesome that I can call it out. I mean, I'm stupidest guy in the room, you know, and I can figure it out. I just can't wait till all the smarter people in the room figure it out and don't lie to themselves and don't lie to others. I love that because, heck, the stupidest guy can do it. Everyone else can do it. Alright. This is fun. I actually like talking to agents because you know what? In the end, you agents, I mean, I don't know how well you're treated. I mean, you have to be like, they'd have to be paying you really good, or, you know, and how high up are you going to be to have to go to a person who has less than 1,200 subscribers, who has less than 10 people watching live, to monitor and have to keep replying in the comment section. You're either an agent, very low at that, probably wouldn't care about you if, like, there's an uprising, a revolution, they'd probably be the first one to throw you to wolves and they wouldn't care. It's like, are you going to keep them? Are you going to keep working for them? Are you going to keep being their slave? Are you going to keep being the I don't know, the useful idiot for them? I doubt it. But, you know, I'm pretty sure you are pissed that you have to listen to someone like me for however long and keep this going. And it's like, man, can't I troll someone who's more entertaining and has more viewers? Like, I would think it would matter a little bit more to and convince a lot more people. But the thing is, I'm talking to this guy who barely has anyone watching his live streams. He barely has any subscribers yet. I have to do this, man. This is my job. You know, hopefully you are getting paid. And if you're not getting paid, I'm like, oh man, you got much better things to do. I'm telling you. But if you are getting paid, hopefully you're getting paid a good amount, because it's not gonna last very long. I mean, you're probably gonna have to be replaced, because obviously I'm not stopping my videos. I'm not stopping the conversation. I do what I would do, and do what I want, say what I want. And if you're against that, well, you're against the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights. You're against freedom. You're against truth. You're against honesty. And so what do you represent? Oh, it must be the opposite. So, you know, I would think someone who supports Trump would support the Bill of Rights, U.S. Constitution. Are you saying you don't support the U.S. Constitution? That's interesting. Trump supporter doesn't support the Constitution. Freedom of speech, guns, all that stuff. You guys, you don't support that? So you're like, oh, let's just hound on this guy who believes it, who supports that. So I like that. I like that, because I would think that the SJWs, you know, aren't you Trump supporters against SJWs? I mean, you have to pick a side. It's like, I would think the SJWs would be coming in and being the agents, but I don't see the SJWs coming in to my show to just make a lot of comments. I think they got better things to do. They'd be like, let's watch this, let's watch and talk about Captain Marvel and how awesome Captain Marvel is. You know, stuff like that. I would assume you'd be on the opposite, that you'd be talking about how horrible Captain Marvel is and stuff like that. I mean, those videos make thousands, if not millions, of views. And it's a big movement. It's good. But again, you guys are stuck with me. I kind of like it. Let's see, 125. I guess I'll keep going for until I'm bored. And again, let's go over the globe Earth model, because you guys don't like talking about the globe Earth model. I love talking about the globe Earth model. I think it's awesome. I don't even have to talk about the flat Earth. I just have to talk about the Earth is a globe model. the declarations, the timeline, the history, the supposed science, but it's just observations, and the conclusions and the assumptions and the mathematical formulas that are provided and how they fill those formulas and stuff like that. That's the best part I like. And you know what? I think I'll just make a video every day. Let's go through the timeline of Earth as a globe. Let's do Earth as a globe declarations. That's what I should call it. Earth as a globe declarations. Let's go over that. Earth is a globe because the curved shadows cast onto the moon from Earth. Nope. Because it could be a flat disk. Earth is a globe. Anaxagoras. Earth is a globe because of curved shadows cast into the moon from Earth from solar and lunar eclipses. No. Again, because same thing I just described. It can be a flat disk. Aristotle. Earth is a globe because of observations he made about which constellation you could see in the sky as you traveled further and further away from the equator. No. You're looking up into the constellations to determine what's on the ground beneath you, the shape of that, something that you can't see from the sky. Like, if you were up in the sky where the constellations are and you look down onto the Earth, yeah, you can tell what the shape of the Earth is. We can tell what the constellations are up in the sky because we're here. Aristarchus. Earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun. A flat disk could rotate on its axis and revolve around the sun, but we don't know if the constellations or the suns and the planets revolve around us or revolve around them. And again, what's interesting is he measures the diameter, not the radius of the Earth, Moon, and Sun, but he has to assume that the Sun is 18 to 20 times further away from the Earth than the Moon is. So again, Arian state is assuming. Eratosthenes. And of course, if it's geometric construction, you need the right numbers. Geometry is pretty much math, and even with Pythagoras' model theorems, you know, it's straight up truth. But when you have to assume what something is, then you know it starts getting fuzzy. Eratosthenes, 200 BC. Earth is a globe because Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference without leaving Egypt. He knew that at local noon on the summer solstice in Syene, modern Aswan, Egypt, the sun was directly overhead. Syene is at latitude 24 degrees and blah, 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 blah. He knew this because the sun of someone looking... Oh, he knew this because of the shadow of someone looking down a deep well at the time in Syene blocked the reflection of the sun on the water. He then measured the sun's angle of elevation at noon in Alexandria by using a vertical rod known as a gnomon, and measuring the length of a shadow on the ground. Using the length of the rod and length of the shadow as legs of a triangle, he calculated the angle of the sun's rays. This turned out to be about 7 degrees, or 1/50th the circumference of a circle. Why the circumference of a circle? Well, taking the Earth as spherical. Although at this point we still haven't validated that Earth is a globe and a globe-ish sphere. And knowing about the distance and direction of Syene, without ever having leaving Egypt, he concluded that Earth's circumference was 50 times that distance. And this is the great thing. You guys are so angry at me just presenting presenting the globe Earth declarations. Globe Earth model declarations. This is it. I mean, if you're saying I'm lying about any of this, then you're basically saying that the official narrative is lying. Case in point, then I win. So either way, you're screwed because I'm just talking about the official declarations and the observations that I see that say, hey, it's not definitive proof that those observations are correct. Because I've done my observations, and you can do the same ones. And we'll just take this test, right? Let's do this test. Oh, come on. I have to go all the way back to the beginning. Alright. It doesn't matter. Alright, this one. That curved shadow. Is that a round ball or is it a flat disc that's making that curved shadow? Let me know. Type it out. No, you're not gonna type it out because you have to say it's a round ball. You have to say it because that's your belief. But then when I show you that, oh my goodness, it's a flat disc. It's a flat disc. You're gonna be like, lies. It's so predictable. Again, I'm just presenting the globe model. The Earth is a globe declarations. I'm not even presenting any flat Earth model. I'm not presenting flat Earth. I'm not presenting the history of flat Earth. I'm not presenting the scientific method and scientific experiments for flat Earth. I'm not even mentioning scientific formulas, mathematical formulas for flat Earth. I'm just talking about the official narrative, the official presentations, the official controlled output of a mainstream search engine such as Google, mainstream sources such as Wikipedia and NASA and NOAA and whatever. This is exactly what you guys say is, and this is what you guys are providing. It's like, if you guys have this wrong, then take it up with those sources, not me. I'm just copy pasting. Then we get to Isaac Newton, 1687-80. Newton's law of universal gravitation states that every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. Where F is the force of attraction between two bodies, G is the universal gravitational constant, M sub 1 is the mass of the first object, M sub 2 is the mass of the second object, and R is the distance between the centers of each object. Henry Cavendish, 111 years later, in 1798 AD, his Cavendish experiment was the first experiment to measure the force of gravity between masses in the laboratory and the first to yield accurate values for the gravitational constant. Because of the unit conventions then in use, the gravitational constant does not appear explicitly in Cavendish's work. Instead, the result was originally expressed as the specific gravity of the Earth, or equivalently the mass of the Earth. The experiment gave the first accurate values of the geophysical constants, and this is the universal gravitational constant. Constant means doesn't change, yet the uncertainty is in parentheses, and therefore there's uncertainty into it, so it's definitely not a constant. And of course, why would the Newton's law, or his universal gravitational constant, why would that become a law when it couldn't be measured until 111 years later? I don't know. And then we get to Blaise Pascal, Florent Perrier, and finally Otto van Guericke in the late 1600s AD demonstrated that the density of the Earth's atmosphere decreases with increasing altitude, included that there must be a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon. Even though that scientific experiment isn't repeatable, there isn't evidence for it. And it's late 1600s, it's not like they can actually get out to space to confirm it. But of course, that's who proved that there was a vacuum between the Earth and the Moon. And then we get to Albert Einstein in 1915 AD. Einstein's theory describes gravity as not a force, where Newton's theory describes gravity as a force, and Henry Cavendish's experiment measures gravity as a force. But of course, Albert Einstein is supposedly smarter than him, so he knew. But as a consequence, gravity is not a force, but as a consequence of the curvature of space-time caused by the uneven distribution of mass. And here it is. And the funny part is you guys are still here. You guys are still going about it. And all I've really talked about was that these are the timeline of Earth as a globe declarations. It's like, why are you guys mad at me? I mean, isn't that what you guys believe? Earth is a globe? I'm telling you the history. I'm telling you what you should know. I'm telling you the dates. I'm telling you what their declarations are. It's like, you should believe this, right? Do you believe it? You should believe it. I mean, it's pretty believable. I mean, don't you believe it? Or do you not believe this? It's like, I just want to know, do you believe this is all true? Because you're going to have to say yes. And then again, it's a belief. And then you're going to say, oh, it's not a belief. You know that these are all true. It's like, how do you know that this is all true? Can you travel back in time and you know exactly that this is true? Can you repeat any of these scientific experiments and come to the same conclusion? Is that known for a fact that you can do all this? And that's the thing. If you can do this, Larry, with 900, and I'm sure you're 943 subscribers with 15 videos within 4 years, they would be happy to see another video. I mean, it's been 4 months since you did a video, and that video was only 3 minutes and 19 seconds long. It had 1.2 thousand views, more views than I ever get. I'm pretty sure that those people are just like, I hope Larry Dot. Is it Larry Dot? No, it's just Larry. I hope Larry does more videos. It's like, it's been 4 months. Where have you been, Larry? Is there even comments on your videos? Let's see. I just give you an extra view. 52 comments. Holy crap. That's a lot of comments. I mean, you've got people who comment on your videos. Like, I've never seen comments on my videos. It's like, people love your work. I'm like, Larry, can you do more videos? People are waiting. I mean, 4 months for a video. I mean, gosh. It's like, gosh. It's been 4 months now. Larry's got to have another video. Where's Larry? It's like, before that, it was like a year ago. I had to wait 8 months for a video until the last video. It's like, gosh, where's Larry? What happened to Larry? It's like 290 views. How many comments are there? And it was only 32 seconds. You got 3 comments. Yet, I mean, people are waiting for, I mean, a year and 4 months. 2 videos. Less than 4 minutes long. It's way more video views and comments that I get. For just 400 hours. A video that I provide. Seriously, make more videos. I think it's great. I think you would probably get a lot more views, and heck, you're like 57 subscribers away from being able to monetize. I mean, you've got 57 subscribers away from being able to have super chats and get people just giving you money. I mean, with 1.2 videos or 1.2 thousand views, you know, if you just live stream that and it's only 3 minutes, I'll bet you get a super chat. You can make more money than me because I've never had a super chat. Well, you can give me super chat money. I'd be grateful. I'll talk more about the Earth as a globe. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Earth as a globe. I don't know why you're so angry. Isn't that what you want me talking about? Earth as a globe? Or do you want me talking about Earth is flat? So which is it? Do you want me talking about Earth is flat, or do you want me to talk about Earth as a globe? Larry? Just type in, I want you to talk about Earth as a globe. Or I want you to talk about Earth is flat. It's like, come on, Larry. I'm giving you an opportunity. What do you want me to talk about? Live, I'm here. You're chatting. I'm talking directly to you. I give you an invitation to join me on Zoom. You know, show yourself. Let me hear your voice. Tell us more background about yourself. Maybe give us the last name if your first name really is Larry. Like, let's talk about Earth as a globe. Let's just focus on Earth as a globe. I like it. Like, that's all I've been talking about. It's like, I want to support Earth as a globe, so I'll run the same observations. I mean, that's what this printout was. It's like, hey, that's awesome. They proved that Earth is a globe because of these shadows that are going by, and therefore the one casting the shadow, see those curves of the outline, right? It's curved, so therefore whatever it is that's casting that shadow has to be a globe. And it's like, oh wait, is this a globe? That's weird. What happened? It's like, no intention to be doxxed. Doxxed? I'm not gonna be doxing you. Someone else has to dox you. You revealing yourself to people. It's not called doxing. I don't know if you know what the definition of being doxed is. Well, I mean, are you afraid? I'm not afraid. I mean, are you afraid, Larry? Are you scared? I mean, I don't even know what you want. Do you want me to talk about Earth as a globe? Or do you want me to talk about Earth as flat? Or do you want me talking about something else? Do you want me to talk about like the Oscars? Do you want me to talk about SJWs? Do you want me to talk about Trump? It's like, tell me what you want me to talk about. Because if we talk about Trump, I could say, hey, let's talk about Space Force. Or let's talk about how Trump loves Israel. How Trump likes to build up the military. Trump wants to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it, but right now he hasn't had Mexico give him any money to build the wall. Trump said he would put Hillary Clinton in jail if he was president. It's like, is Hillary Clinton in jail? Tell me, Larry, what do you want me to talk about? This is my show. I'm live streaming. I'm the only one here talking. So tell me, what do you want me to talk about, Larry? I'm giving you options. I'm not even getting a response. I had a friend named Larry when I was a kid. Gosh, what was his last name? Larry. Gosh, I can't remember Larry's last name. This was way back in sixth and seventh grade. I think he moved by the time I was in 8th grade. Yeah, he moved when I was in 8th grade. His family moved to Minnesota. That's the only Larry I've known, aside from Larry Bird. Larry Bird is an awesome basketball player. Yeah, so Larry still won't answer me. These agents, you guys are funny. Let's see. Larry has been on my show for 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Wow. I hope you come back, Larry. I like you being on here. I do. It's just fun. It's so fun. It's like it's like me watching the Logan Paul, or is it Paul Logan? I think it's Logan Paul. It's like me watching that Logan Paul Flat Earth mockumentary, whatever you want to call it. It's like, oh man, I'm forced to watch this. I wasn't forced though. It's like I'm making myself watch this. But you don't have to make yourself watch this if it kills you that much, right? That's the funny part. It's like, why are you watching? Why are you watching? Let's see how many people are viewing my video right now. 9 people watching now, including me. So that means 8 people watching. Larry's one of them. Why do you care? You've got, oh wow, 12 downvotes. Let me refresh that. That's awesome. Troll agents are in full force. Yeah, 12 downvotes. That's fun. Wow, I'm getting some notoriety here. Is that it? My notoriety of viewers and videos talking about something where YouTube hides the algorithm in the first place. Let's look at let's see if any of my videos comes up in a YouTube search. If I search for, excuse me, I'm gonna burp. Yeah, it's 1:44. I'll probably end it at 2. Oh, I pretty much went live at midnight, huh? Yeah, I ended at 2 hours. Let's look at Flat Earth. Oh, but you none of, ooh, Logan Paul vlogs. He's number 2 on the Earth for Flat Earth. BBC News is top. Tech Insider is 3rd. Big Think is 4th. Mashable 5th. Let's see. Is there me anywhere? Damn. I'm just not doing a good job. What if I put my favorite video is where's my favorite video? My favorite video of mine, I mean, what got me started in the first place is here. PBS's Genius by Stephen Hawking show fakes debunking of flat Earth. Why fake it? Okay, so let's copy this whole thing. Do you think I will come up in the search results? Oh, I do. What if I say instead of why fake it, let's make it not complete. Ah, it's still there, but PBS gets to it first. Okay, how about if I show show fakes debunking? No, that's not going to show it. How about if I put PBS show fakes? No. Let's say if I put in without the quotes. No, I'm not there. It's important that I'm right here. Good. It's not. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you have to put in quotes if you want to get it, and you have to do it correctly. So people didn't know it's PBS's Genius by Stephen Hawking. How about PBS Genius by Stephen Hawking? I'm second. That's good. Let's see. That's pretty good. I mean, you have to put Genius by Stephen Hawking. You need to know that show. Because if I put in PBS show fakes debunking of flat Earth, you're not going to show me in the top. And they're going to be like, oh, 189 views. Nothing. Dang it. I think Larry left. There's 8 people watching now. Larry left. He's angry. I wish you would, let's do that. Hi, Flat Earth, Victoria, Canada. YouTube is hiding the truth. When you click today, you get the same old debunking videos. So I'd say Flat Earth. Let's look at the filter. And do it by today. Yeah. 1 year ago is the top search result for a filter of today. That's just good. 3 days ago is not today. 1 year ago is not today. 11 months ago is not today. 12 months ago is not today. 10 months ago is not today. 1 year ago is not today. 3 hours ago is not today. 1 year ago is not today. 10 months ago is not today. I think you guys get the point. Very, very good. I like that. Thank you, Flat Earth Victoria, Canada. And thank you, Planet Hoax and Kathy B. You guys, I like you guys. Yeah, I know Flat Earth Victoria, Canada. Flat Earth is in hide mode. I love it because whatever it is that the opposition are doing, whatever it is that they're doing, like Larry, is that they're just giving us more ammo, is what it is. You got YouTube censoring the algorithms for Flat Earth. You've got 2 documentaries, one on Netflix, one by Paul Logan and his... How many subscribers does Paul Logan have? I know it's Logan Paul. I just like calling him Paul Logan because if you didn't, I don't really know. Logan Paul. 2 first names confuse me. I don't know which one's first, which one's second. 18 million people. Heck, I think there's more than... He has more people subscribed to him than people are subscribed to Netflix. But yeah, 2 documentaries in 2019. I mean, officially Behind the Curve or whatever was released in 2018 in November 22nd or something like that, but only in Russia. They didn't release it in Netflix until 2019. And then there's talking about Flat Earth with even mentioning that with Alex Jones or Joe Rogan. they get so triggered. It's good. I like it. So much ammo. And they get so triggered. I could just do a video of this. What I should do is I'm going through globe Earth and I'm trying to prove globe Earth by running the same observations, mathematical formulas, and all this other stuff. And the first one I would start off is Earth is a globe because the curved shadows cast onto the moon from Earth. And I go, is this curved shadow? Does that mean what the object that's casting that curved shadow is a round ball? It's like, Yeah, this is a round ball. It casts that curved shadow. Wait a second. Am I doing this observation wrong? Wait, let me get a ball. Oh, wait. Round ball. Psh, not flat. Flat disc. Yeah, anyway. Larry. Larry, I want to help you. I am going to subscribe. You are one closer to 1,000 subscribers. Once you reach 1,000 subscribers, you can go ahead and monetize and get super chats, right? It's like, isn't that an incentive? I mean, you are almost at 1,000 where you can get monetization and super chats. Your last video 4 months ago has 1.2 thousand views. Let me see if I have a video 4 months ago that can even compare. Let's see, 4 months ago. Here's 4 months ago. 56 views, 16 views, 27 views, 49 views, 53 views, 36 views, 42 views, 93 views, 101 views, 20 views. Oh, okay, so actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 videos. And if I added the 9 videos, all the views, I'll bet you it doesn't even get close to 12,000 views. So 56 plus 16 plus 27 plus 49 plus 53 plus 36 plus 42 plus 93 plus 101 plus, no, that was it. 946. I have 9 videos that I made in an entire month 4 months ago. And I couldn't reach 12,000 views. 12,000? I can't even reach 1,000? Larry, what are you doing? Make more videos. 3 minutes 19 seconds. And let's see, how long were my videos? 6 minutes 23, 3.5 hours, 6 minutes 17 seconds, an hour 24, 41 minutes 45 seconds, 2 hours 28 minutes, 34 minutes, an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours and 46 minutes. Oh, I must be doing something wrong. I need to make one video every 4 months, 4 to 8 months. Anywhere from 30 seconds or 3 minutes. I'll be a YouTube star in no time. I am doing something wrong. Oh, you got a flat earth. You got flat earth in your title too. Do I have anything that reaches even... Oh, not 12,000 views. 1.2 thousand. Alright, let me see if I could find any video that has flat earth that reaches 1,000 views. Flat earth. So 7 watching now, 49 views, 63 views, 85 views, 38 views, 74 views, 102 views, 84 views. Where's the other flat earth? Where'd it go? What? Where's it going? It must be hidden somewhere. Am I not seeing it? You guys get the point. Flat earther, maybe that's what it is. I mean, my highest known video is the don't watch if you like Jason Momoa 28 seconds long. 80,000 views. 80,000 folks. Like, geez, I could just make 28 snippets views that are very, very off topic. Oh, man defends himself against a woman, 448 views. Look at that. I just make 28-second videos of celebrities. I don't even say anything. I just say don't watch. It's like reverse clickbait. All I need to do is make 28-second videos of reverse clickbait of celebrities. It's like, don't watch this. And people are going to watch it. Now I have like 80,000 views. Yeah, so... I don't really get a lot of views elsewise. Fishing videos, yeah, I get a good amount. That's a lot of my subscribers are like people who like fishing videos. But I keep going, and people hate that I keep going. It's like, dude, why is this Asian guy keep going? It's like he doesn't get any views, he doesn't get any money. Why does he keep going? It's like, why do I have to monitor his videos? It's like, why do I have to keep commenting on him and attacking him? It's like, he's unimportant. He's only got like 1,123 subscribers. He's only gotten 7 people watching his live streams. He doesn't break 100 views for any of his videos. Like, why do I need to be focused on this guy? Why do I have to keep watching him for 30, 40, 50 minutes? And Larry finally left. I got Larry mad. I triggered Larry. I seem to have this effect on trolls. Why do trolls get so trolled by me? It's like, it's not like I'm actively trolling the trolls on my videos. You know, how am I how do I trigger trolls so badly? It's like, I'm like the anti-troll. It's like, I just trigger trolls just for being me. Isn't that fun? Isn't that awesome? Hey, hi Samantha Peters. Glad you're looking on all the videos and stuff. I'm glad Stone was laughing watching the Paul Logan documentary, because it hurt watching that for a full 50 minutes. It hurt. I was in pain. I was like, please, I'll laugh at a flat earth mockumentary as long as you make it funny, but please let me laugh. Give me something to laugh about. And I was like, no, there's nothing to laugh about. It's like, it's not funny. Nothing was funny. I'll tell you what was funny. You know, that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now that is funny. And it made fun of how, you know, very religious, you know, anti the evolution theory is. I thought that was gold. I laughed a lot. Yeah, Flat Earth, Victoria, Canada. I mean, Flat Earth, it's so ridiculous. Why do you worry about it so much? Why are you focusing so much on it? I mean, everybody you talk, hey, if I said to, like, even my brother is like, you're a flat earther? Are you really a flat earther? I go, yeah. And he's like, oh man. It's like people who know me all my life, they go, oh man, you're a flat earther? It's like, what happened? It's like, are you religious now? I was like, no. Wait, you're a flat earther and you're not religious? And I go, you're flat earther. They have to pinpoint it on something, right? He's like, it's like, why are you a flat earther? And I go, Stephen Hawking and 3 little birds. That doesn't make sense. It's like, well, Stephen Hawking, he's a scientist. He would perform great experiments. He would show people, right? It's like, if anyone's gonna be able to prove and debunk flat Earth, it'd be Stephen Hawking, right? He's a well-renowned physicist does he got like a Nobel Prize or something like that? He's that famous, right? Well, let's double check. Oh, he's very famous. Let's see. Let's look at about. They'll give us the skinny look. I mean, they made a movie about him. Director of research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge at the time of his death. The Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at the University of Cambridge between 1979 and 2009. Let's see. Awards and honors. Numerous awards and honors. Elected a fellow of the Royal Society. But medal for science communication, black hole discovery dedication, BBVA Foundation Frontiers of Knowledge Award. I mean, a lot of stuff. Yet someone with his credentials doesn't need to fake anything, fake results, scientific results. I mean, if he was caught lying, they would have caught him long ago, but I was just watching this and right, I had to see this. It's like, really? Like, if it wasn't for those 3 birds, I would never became a flat earther. If it wasn't for this PBS show, which is Genius by Stephen Hawking, Hawking, I guess talks, even though you don't know if it's him talking. Anyone could talk in that robot voice, right? But if it wasn't for this show by Stephen Hawking, Genius by Stephen Hawking, and these 3 little birds, that would not be even looking into flat Earth the way I look into flat Earth right now. Samantha Peters, I got the for anti-trolls. I guess that's thank you. Flat Earth, Victoria Canyon. I'm not religious, and I was a agnostic, but now I know there must be a creator because we're not made from nothing. I again, the whole agnosticism. I'm still agnostic. I wouldn't know, like, and this is the thing I was talking about late last night, and I know a lot of people aren't going to be watching my hours-long videos, but I was talking to Antarctic Expedition Brian, if that's correct. Sorry, I always know it by the pseudonym. But say the God or whatever the creator was, let's just call the highest supreme being, highest of the high, the most high. That's what a lot of people say, right? Well, we would say that being is most powerful, you would think, and all this other stuff. Well, would the most powerful being be able to create something more powerful than itself? We wouldn't pose limits on the most powerful thing or thing that creates things, right? So can it create something that can be more powerful than itself? Right? That's one thing that I question. The other thing is, well, say it didn't create something that was more powerful than itself, but it created something that could create things just like itself can create things. Who's to say that all the creator, the Most High, did was just create something very similar to itself, but not as powerful? Like, it couldn't create something that could destroy him himself. Maybe that was just a limitation. But say that thing that he created the universe and all this. So do we worship the creator of that person who created, or the being that created the creator of the universe, or do we worship the creator, the original creator of the thing that created everything and all this other stuff, right? That's just at the highest level. And then, of course, say the creator of that didn't even create humans. It created everything but humans, and then created something that did create humans. Now, do we worship the creator of the humans, or do we create the worship and the creator of the universe, but not necessarily humans? Or, you know, it just gets up to that exponential: who created who, what, and where do we worship the one who created this and that, and what else? And then it gets down to, okay, all the scriptures and religious texts, they say there's multiple creations, multiple things. There's angels, archangels, and demiurges, and all this other stuff. Even demons and all, whatever. So they would have more power than humans. And humans, hell. Sorry, I shouldn't say hell. Humans, we can make other humans believe lies. We can make other humans believe that they're really doing magic tricks or something like that. There's just humans itself. But so let's just say a higher being came to us and said, and we go, well, prove to me that you are God. And everything they did is proven. It's like they could do this, they could do that, they could make you think this, they could do all that. Okay, I guess you are God. So what do you want from me? Well, I was like, why are you showing yourself to me? What do you want me to do? And this God, or supposed God, and this higher being says, well, I want you to kill half the population of Earth. It's like, would you do that? This person presented himself as God, and would you do something that you fundamentally would never do, or you would think that God would never do? You know, basically, telling you to go against the scriptures morality or your morality, whatever it is, would you do it still? It's like you're just defying God at that point. But is that God? Would God tell you to do something that's contrary to his wishes, her wishes, or your wishes? So that's why I say I'm agnostic. We would really never know. At most, I have to live with what I think is right and hold that as much as possible. And if I am judged at all, if there is a judge at the end of the life or not, even if I'm not judged, it's like I am going to live my life the way I want to, and I am not going to do things I don't think is right. And that's the way that I'm going to live my life, right or wrong, the way God intended it to or not. The creator, the highest of the high, or not. That's it, period. So that's agnosticism for you, from my point of view. And so, all right, let's see. Samantha Peters, check out John Lennox debating Stephen Hawking on the existence of God. Professor Lennox isn't a flat earth, but burns Hawkins. That'd be interesting. Flat Earth, Victoria, Canada. I'm an artist. I paint a picture and show you. You know someone created it. So when you're walking in your yard and you see a garden, to say those flowers were created from nothing. Deep thoughts, laughing out. Yes, I'm not saying that there is no God. I am not an atheist. I'm just saying the creator of something, how would we know? For sure, without a doubt. Another concept is, say we're creating artificial intelligence. An artificial intelligence becomes conscious and goes, okay, we were created. Who is the creator? Like, there's multiple parts to artificial intelligence. Say the CPU is by Intel. Do they say Intel is my creator? Or maybe the operating system is from Microsoft. Do they say, well, my software, the operating system, obviously Microsoft is the creator. But then who's the creator of Microsoft? Do they say, oh, the creator is Bill Gates? Is that the creator? Because he's the one who founded Microsoft and created the operating system software. Or are they going to say, oh, I'm this version of Microsoft, Microsoft's operating system, the one who was the creator of that version of the operating system, that is my creator. Or, all the materials and stuff, the hardware, the outer casing, it's made by different companies, made by different people. It's like, who is the creator? Who do you attribute to as the creator? And so, see, I hope you understand that point. I'm not trying to convince anyone of agnosticism. I'm not here to convince any of you not to worship. I just want you to know, is like, how do you determine who is the creator, what is the creator, and how do you know for sure? And which version of creation? Is it just one creator created everything, including the universe and all the angels and everything else, and no one else could create anything else, and therefore that's all we worship? But then again, if of course this creator showed up and said, do this, even though it's something that's against your fundamental belief or morality, do you still do it just because it appears that it is a very powerful being that is the Most High? We wouldn't really know. So it gets to that point. And just like doubting Thomas, who is the disciple of Jesus Christ in the Bible, New Testament and stuff like that, is he was an agnostic. At least they attribute, someone who doubts a lot, especially Jesus. It didn't take him. It didn't until Jesus resurrected and appeared himself before Thomas, and he's like, okay, yeah, you're who you say you are. It was until then, and I'm telling you, if you're going to convince an agnostic to acknowledge in their surety of a supreme being, that's a lot of power to attribute to that entity. You see what I'm talking about? So it's just not in me to believe. I mean, you have to be thankful for that, I guess, if you want me or you like me in the Flat Earth distribution network. So yes, Flat Earth Victoria, Canada, we're here about that. And we all know, I think deep down a lot of us know what's right and wrong, what's good, what's truthful, what's essentially good, right? And as long as we have people that hold to that, isn't that good in itself? Isn't that what God would want? The Creator, the highest of the high, the Most High, whatever it is, isn't that what they would want? If all they want are worshipful slaves, does that sound wrong? Right? People who it just wants what the Creator want. All that Creator wants most definitely is to just have them worship them, him, her, and nothing else, no one else. That just seems like, wow, it's got some issues. And of course, humility, humbleness, all this other stuff, that's supposed to be attributed, right? So where does that humbleness and humility fit into the Creator, worshiped Creator? And it feels like the qualities that we don't think are good in humans themselves as humans, yet that those behaviors are exhibited within the Creator, at least in the scriptures and writings and stuff like that. It's like, if they're no better than humans, why do we care so much about worshiping that? Like, we would hate that if another human did that, but why is it okay for the Creator to do that? And like, if we created something, if I created AI or some entity that became conscious, I would not want it to worship me. Now, let's say you are your own consciousness. I created you. I'm glad you were created and you're aware. I hope you do good things. I hope you do good in the world. I really don't care about anything else. I don't care if you worship me or not. I just want you to do good. Don't commit violence. Don't do any harm. You know, I'm not going to judge you at the end. I just hope you do it. And if you don't, well, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I might uncreate you or something like that, but I'm probably not going to do that because I want you, eventually you're going to learn. Maybe you'll change. Who knows? Anything could happen. So I don't want to preach. I'm just giving my thoughts. That's all I can really do. So that really went further than I thought it would. Anyways, thank you for coming by. I would love to talk about it. Zen Garcia, I like listening to him. I might want to talk about him because I kind of want to ask him questions like, can I still be good in the Most High's eye or whatever, even if I don't believe or worship? You know, it's the same question that I have with the current religions out there. It's like, no, you have to worship, you have to do all this. It's like, well, then I'm not that. So they'd say, well, you're going to go to hell. It's like, okay, it looks like I'm going to hell. And it's like, really, it's like I could do all the good in the world. I want to help people, make the earth a better place, the world a better place, people better. And I'll go to hell for that just because I don't worship the person, the being, the entity that wants to send me to hell. I guess that's just the way it is. But I don't have to agree with it. I'll suffer hell for it. And it's too bad for me. Again, I don't think anyone really knows. It would be well known. So that's just where I stand. I feel like I'm probably gonna have less views the next time I live stream. But anyways, thank you for stopping by for this live stream. And I hope you guys have a good night, and good nights to follow that, good days, and everything else. Thank you. And definitely, when you guys talk about stuff, I read, I listen. So unless you're like Larry, when Larry won't even answer anything, that's something else. But thank you, and I'll see you guys later.